Hello everyone, my name is Ibtisam. Welcome to the Moroccan Reviews. Today I want to talk to you guys about a book that I've been reading for the past 3 weeks. It was a mentally and emotionally draining novel for me, but I was kind of expecting it because I bought this book 5 years ago and it's been sitting on my shelf for that long. And I've been trying to avoid to read it because of that reason, because I knew it was going to be a heavy read. The novel I'm talking about is We Need to Talk About Kevin. We Need to Talk About Kevin is a novel about a teenager named Kevin who will commit a mass shooting at the school where he studies. And the novel is a set of letters sent by Eva, his mother, to her estranged husband Franklin, where she talks about her life since she met Franklin until like 2 years after the mass shooting happened. In those letters, she was trying to find out the reason why Kevin turned out to be the person he turned out to be. Why was he an evil person? Was it because of something she did? Was it because of something her husband did? Was it because Kevin was just born that way? So this book actually raises the question, nature versus nurture. The book also talks about a topic that is rarely talked about in real life because women don't like to talk about it and don't want to say that they dislike a specific child of theirs because society would see them as bad mothers, when in fact there are mothers who actually don't like one of their kids. They see them as strangers. They just don't believe that they gave birth to that person, which reminded me of this quote that I once read in The Prophet by Khalil Gibran that says, "Children come through you, you don't own them." So Eva was trying to find out why Kevin did what he did. At first I was kind of angry at Eva, and I thought she had so many issues and maybe she was the reason Kevin did what he did. But the more I read the letters, the more I empathized with her, the more I was starting to see things from her perspective. Eva didn't want to have children in the first place, but Franklin pushed her into giving him a child, and she was so angry all the time when she was pregnant by Kevin. Her labor was described in the novel in a very... it was traumatizing for me. Usually when a woman wants to give birth, she pushes the baby out. Eva was trying to keep the baby inside of her. She didn't want him to come out to this world, and that is why it took her 24 hours to give birth. So the more I read, the more that I saw that the problem was that Eva didn't want to have a child in the first place. But Franklin also was one of the reasons Kevin turned out the way he was, because whenever Eva complained to her husband about something that Kevin did, Franklin would just brush it away, and he would say that Kevin is just a child and that she shouldn't react the way she reacts with him. The thing is, it was not only the mother who was complaining, it was people from their school. As a good parent, you would think that something is wrong with your son and you would try to find out what is wrong with him. But Franklin did not do that and just brush it away. But then again, Franklin was very manipulative with his father. He would act like an angel when he was around his father. And once his father was out of the picture, he would turn into the devil. Before reading this book, I always thought that the author was a man because the name Lionel Lionel is a man's name, but after I did a Google research, I found out that the author is actually a woman. Her name used to be Margaret, and she changed it to Lionel. And when she was asked why, she said that she just, as an author, she has to be everything and everyone at once in order to write well. She has to be a man, she has to be a woman, a child, she has to be everything and everyone. I really liked the way this book was written, although at the beginning it was the author was using some really difficult vocabulary but the more I read, the more it got better. Lionel Shriver is actually a very well-spoken person, and I enjoyed watching her interviews. She is so smart, and this book actually was the reason why her parents threatened to disinherit her. She dedicated the book to them, and after they read it, they were so furious. Lionel Shriver actually used some very personal accounts of things that happened between her and her parents in this book. That is why they were very mad at her. And Lionel Shriver, since she was young, she decided to not have any children. So for her to write from the point of view of a mother is really interesting. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. Would I reread it? No, I wouldn't, because it was very draining for me. Would I recommend you to read it? I would recommend you to read it if you want to read about a toxic relationship between a mother and her son. If you want to read about a book that raises the topic nature versus nurture, yes, I would recommend you to read it because it's a really good book. It's very well written. Other than that, I would recommend you also to be mentally prepared before diving into this book. Thank you guys for watching my video, and I'll see you in my next book review. Bye!